Everyone.
Good morning.
Morning.
Um, for those of you that are in the room and those who are joining us online, I'd like to call the committee meetings of the State Board of Education to order for the month of July 2025. As all of you joining us live and virtually know, we are meeting at the Jekyll Island Conference Center down here on beautiful Jekyll Island. I will entertain a motion at this time to go into executive session to discuss personnel, student disciplinary appeals, and pending litigation.
Motion.
We have a
Second.
motion by Ms. Kennemore, second by Mr. Benton. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. We will be back at 10:30, audience. We are now in executive session. And those of you who are joining us here in the room, I'm going to ask you to All right, board members, I will entertain a motion to exit executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Donaldson, second by Benton. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. It is now time. It is 10:31. We can begin our committee meeting agenda, and we will start with the Budget Committee. And I'll call on Chairman Leonte Benton, and he will take us through the items. Mr. Benton.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, there's Russ. I'll kick it off to you. Item number 1.
This is my comfort zone. Item 1 is a grant. This is our FY26 federal formula grant allocations for ESSA and IDEA. Purpose of this grant award is our annual formula-based allocations for federal programs. The total grant amount is not to exceed $992,408,462.
Thank you very much. Any questions? Okay.
Let's wait just another second, make sure that our folks that are online have an opportunity.
Okay.
But I think we're in good shape.
Okay. Thank you. Item number 2.
Item number 2 is our FY26 Education for Homeless Children and Youth Grant, McKinney-Vento. The purpose of this grant is to assist with the instructional supports and pupil services for Georgia's homeless children and youth in accordance with the requirements of the federal McKinney-Vento Homeless Assistance Act and policy guidance from the U.S. Department of Education. The total grant amount is not to exceed $3,410,326.
Thank you, Russ. Any questions? Yes.
Ms. Owens, just to make sure that everybody understands about McKinney-Vento, could you give us a little more information about it and how everything's going on regarding that, especially the increase in the homeless population?
Yes. This is our McKinney-Vento grant. This is a competitive grant. We run 2 different competitive grants. 21st Century is the other. So this is designed to help provide additional support for students who may be experiencing homelessness. The allocation went up because, as you see from our FY23 numbers, we were at around 41,000 students experiencing homelessness. We did see an increase in FY24 to 46,000 experiencing homelessness. So a lot of these resources are designed to provide the extra level. A lot of the bulk of this actually goes to transportation, because if you are at another location, the idea is to make sure you have the resources so that if you are at one school and now you are maybe in an adjoining district staying with a family member, then this can help provide the transportation so that you can get that. And transportation is very expensive, but it helps to, again, help relieve some of the trauma that's associated with experiencing homelessness. So it can provide counseling resources, additional fees, and if you need clothing, things of that nature to help students. So it is unfortunate that the numbers have increased, but we work very closely with other agencies, other state agencies and private agencies to try to make sure that we're providing whatever support we can from the state level.
One quick question as well. These funds were released by the feds, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, sir. These were released by the feds.
Shauna, how are the allocations decided? These are very odd numbers. I'm just curious, is it a funding per person enrolled in the program, or?
So Russ can probably give you how the allocations are run, but I will tell you for all of our for almost all of the federal programs, poverty plays a big role in that. And then in addition to that, we have the numbers of students experiencing homelessness. So they run calculations based on their formulas to provide that. And that's why you'll see that go up and down. But the poverty piece is a really substantial part of just about every federal program that we have, including IDEA.
So it's numbers served
Yes.
that drives the allocation. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Dr. Owen? right, thank you.
Item number 3.
All right, item number 3 is our FY26 USDA Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program Grant. This is to get us through the end of this federal fiscal year, July 2025 through September 2025. The purpose of this grant is to provide funding to schools to operate the USDA Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program throughout the school year. The total grant amount is not to exceed $865,000.
Thank you, Russ. Any questions?
How is this going to be affected at the federal level with them, holding back funds? I know this is for this year, but has it been affected at all?
Not this grant in particular. The next item actually is the 26th one.
Okay.
So this one has not been frozen.
Okay, thank you.
Is this something that the districts apply for, or, like I was just looking at the allocations, and I think I was expecting everybody to get a little something, but.
Well, they have to apply because they have to utilize the fresh fruit and vegetable.
They have to choose to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Participate.
Any other questions? Okay, item number 4.
All right, item number 4 is our FY26 USDA Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program Grant. This is the October 2025 through June of 2026. Purpose of this grant is to provide funding to schools to operate the USDA Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program. The total grant amount is not to exceed $5,430,984.
Any questions on this item? Okay, thank you. Item number 5.
Item number 5 is the FY26 RESA supplemental federal funding. The purpose of the RESA supplemental federal funding is to support the ongoing implementation of Georgia's systems of continuous improvement in schools and districts. The total grant amount is not to exceed $6,937,492.
Any questions on item number 5? Okay, thank you. Item number 6.
Item number 6 is our FY26 Title I Part A 1003 School Improvement Grants. The purpose of this grant is to provide financial resources to LEAs with schools federally identified as targeted support and improvement and comprehensive support and improvement. The total grant amount is not to exceed $19,750,000.
Any questions on item number 6? Please.
Dr. Johnson, could you come up and just talk to us a little bit about this? School improvement and everything going on?
Sure. Well, thank you. I can be very brief. Well, thank you for the opportunity. So we're just excited. This is our Super Bowl year. We call that, this is the last year before schools will be identified and gives them opportunities to exit. So in the calculation, we'll share a little bit of that at the retreat. But these funds are going to be used to supplement our support where we already go in and provide direct support between the RESA and the school effectiveness and district effectiveness specialists that are sponsored through the Georgia Department of Education. And we utilize this for things such as tutorials or for building leadership capacity, just pretty much anything that we see that a child may need in order to improve outcomes. So that's what this money will be served.
Thank you. I also appreciate you and Ms. Owens too, the federal programs when I went there, it was just phenomenal. Seeing all the schools that were moving off the list and all the celebrations with Superintendent Woods. And I just want to tell both of you publicly, thank you so much for what you're doing.
Well, we'll thank you very much for attending and for the compliments. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. We do have, we hope we'll be able to hear a more detailed approach to the department school improvement efforts at our fall retreat.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to that.
Dr. Johnson, hang on. Hey, don't rush off. Yeah, don't rush off. I'm curious about the allocations. They appear to be in increments of 25,000. How are the allocations determined?
Okay, so the way that we do that is we break it down by tier. So tier 4, and I have to forget the specific amounts, but according to your need, tier 4, of course, they get the highest level of the allocation. Tier 3, that's going to be next. Then we move into tier 2, the ATSI, the TSI schools, and then the graduation and the alternative schools, they get the smaller amounts.
Okay,
So that's just, one of those that can't be a one size fits all.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions?
I don't have a question. I just want to, say the same thing Lisa said. It's really refreshing to see these schools are, working with the department to come off of the list. We've identified and we know that we're going to have schools that, get themselves in these types of situations, but the improvement is what I'm grateful to see, and I'm glad that the federal funding is still allocated for us to be able to do this work. If we're going to focus on improving our communities, it starts with education. So.
And again, just as a reminder, there's always going to be a list, okay? So, but I think, as we try to, shape what that list looks like, again, moving these schools off. But, unfortunately, as I said, it's just one of those things, you're going to have a bottom 25%, so.
Yep. But as the overall performance level of the bottom 25% increases,
Elevates, yeah.
then as the tide rises, it
Yeah.
lifts all the boats.
Like I said, we can shape what the list looks like, and that's the intent.
Thank you. Any more questions or discussion? Okay, item number 7, which is what we discussed previously.
This is our contract with charter bus services for state schools. Charter bus services are required for the state schools to transport Georgia School for the Deaf students to and from Georgia School Academy for the blind, and to transport GAV, GSD, and Atlanta Area School for the deaf students to and from competition, sports, and other events as needed. This contract award should have been discussed in executive session.
Any further questions on item number 7? Okay. Any discussion or questions with item number 8?
Could we hear a little bit about the contract with Disney Productions LLC? Give us a little information about that.
Sure, we can provide that. There's some,
Yeah, 'cause
these are
that's
some
important. I
Garden
like
school
that.
videos, yeah, I can provide that to you.
Can you- Yeah, if I could get more information.
You want to see
Yeah.
some of
That's what our school nutrition.
the school nutrition video?
So this is a series of videos that have been developed to support this superintendent's vision of really highlighting Georgia grown meals that are happening in our schools across the state. So there's already been a series of very high quality videos that are in production that are going to be cross-curricular, that connect food to also our CTAE classrooms and to really our food service workers. So as students going through the line, they're understanding that that strawberry they're eating is coming from a Georgia farm. And in the videos, they're interviewing the farmer and going out into the field and seeing it being grown. So there's a lot of STEM tie-ins as well. The first set of videos have been produced, and this will allow to finish out the rest of the set to be consistent. That's why Disney Productions is who did the first group, so wanting it to be a consistent set of videos. Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Can I follow up with that? How do the districts get the videos? I mean, do they request them, or is it posted somewhere? Is it kind of automatic? They can use it if they want? I mean.
That's a great question. So School Nutrition has a website, also has mailings that go out directly to our districts and to our teachers. In addition to that, there's lesson plans that follow along with the videos too, so they are teacher specific. So through our professional learning resources that are shared at conferences, teachers will have access to that as well.
Any other questions? All right, Mr. Benton, let me make sure I've got this right. We're going to move all of the items 1 through 8
Yes, sir.
to the consent agenda.
That's correct.
All right. And we will move budget items 1 through 8 to the consent agenda. We have a little bit of time left before we can start our Rules Committee meeting at 11 o'clock. But one of our partner guests who we always enjoy having in the room for our state board meeting, Ms. Margaret Ciccarelli, is here, and it's not an agenda item, but she asked that I give her a few minutes to issue an invitation.
Thank you. Thank
Margaret?
you, Mr. Chair, and I hope y'all are enjoying your trip to Jekyll and Summer Gale, as much as my family and I and other members of the education community did. I wanted to welcome all of you to our 50th anniversary gala that Paige will be having on October 2nd at the zoo. It is to commemorate the 50th anniversary of our founding. And since that time, Paige, which focuses on providing legislative, legal, and professional learning support to Georgia's educators, has grown not only to the largest professional association in the state of Georgia, but also we are the largest independent association in the whole country. We have about 93,000 members right now and are thrilled to provide services to Georgia educators and to provide and to partner with all of you in this work to support Georgia schools, Georgia students, and Georgia educators. So we hope that you will join us at the zoo on October 2nd. The space actually adjoins that will be gala-ing, celebrating in, actually abuts the Elephant House. So if we're lucky, we might get some views of those magnificent animals. I actually have a handout for everybody, and you'll receive a paper and an electronic invitation as well. But we hope that you will join us, and also know, as with the gala or any other education projects, Paige is here to support you in your work and to support the department in your work that we appreciate so much. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Margaret. Thanks for the invitation. If you'll pass those around so we get that on our calendars. We've got about 10 minutes before we can begin our Rules Committee agenda, so we'll go into recess until 11 o'clock. All right? We stand in recess.
Thank you.
Yeah, let me get everybody back to their seats. We'll, this. All right, we'll come out of recess and go back into our committee meetings, and it is now time for our Rules Committee meeting. And I will call on our chairman, Mr. Frank Griffin. Mr. Griffin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have 4 items on the agenda today. Ms. Taylor, if you'll take item number 1.
Item number 1 is a request to adopt 2 new course pathways, audio technology for a live production pathway and audio technology for post-production pathway. Coweta County Public Schools, along with industry professionals, developed the course standards for these 2 new pathways. The courses for audio technology for live production pathway include audio production, audio live production essentials for film, concert, and television, and audio live production practicum. The courses for audio technology for post-production pathway include introduction to audio production, audio post-production essentials for studio and broadcast, and audio post-production practicum. These standards were approved for posting at the May 2025 State Board of Education meeting and have been posted for public review and comment for at least 30 days.
Any questions or comments from the board? Yes, ma'am.
How many comments did you get on this particular pathway?
29.
29, that's wonderful. Dr. Wall, could you tell us a little bit about this audio technology? And with Coweta, do they have any partnership with Trillis?
Christy would like to share some of this information with you.
Sorry.
So I actually had the opportunity to serve on this committee in my previous position. So Coweta County CEC has had for decades tradition of excellence in working with film and television and audio. They have a partnership with the Grammy Foundation as well, and their students are going out and doing live production. They felt there was a need to expand the current film AV offerings to be more audio specific. We do have, as a former music technology teacher, we do have that in fine arts, but audio is larger than just music. It's, we're running audio today in the back, and so needing to meet to standards that work with that. So serving on the committee, Andrew Ratcliffe, who owns a studio in Athens, Georgia, Tweed Recording Studios, was there. He's been working as well with Trilith and the CEC to look at audio as a whole. So there were conversations between that community on this and supporting this work.
That's good. That's a big film. I have a nephew who is a audio engineer, so that's really big. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Todd. Any other questions? Item number 2.
Well, before we move on, this is an adoption item, so we're going to have to pull that for a separate vote, correct?
No, it's because it's standard, it can go for standard.
Oh, so it's standard, so we can put it on the consent agenda?
The
All
only
right.
thing that has to go for a separate vote is the adoption of a rule.
Of a rule, okay. All right, thank you very much for that clarification.
Item number 2 is a request to adopt the Georgia K-12 standards for Naval Science 5 Advanced Leadership 1 and Naval Science 5 Advanced Leadership 2. These new courses, developed by the Naval Education and Training Command, are necessary so that students enrolled in the Navy Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps JROTC program can have more opportunities to experience Navy JROTC. These standards were approved for posting at the May 2025 State Board meeting and have been posted for public review and comment for at least 30 days.
Any questions or comments from the board?
How many comments did you get on this particular?
We got 7 on this one.
7.
Hearing none, this will be placed on the consent agenda as well. Item number 3.
Item number 3 is a request to approve the private schools that have requested to participate in the Georgia Special Needs Scholarship for the 2025-26 school year. The official code of Georgia annotated section 20-2-2115 requires the state board to authorize private schools that will be eligible to participate in the program. Private schools that are interested in participating have until June 30th, 2025 to apply for the 2025-2026 school year and had to meet eligibility requirements outlined in rule and law. Having met these requirements, the 7 private schools identified on your sheet are seeking to participate in the program.
Any questions or comments from the board? Yes, ma'am.
What's the total number you have for this upcoming year?
These are approved, that brings to 314.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any other comments? This item will be placed on the consent agenda. Item number 4.
Item number 4, a request to approve resolution regarding the establishment of an accreditation committee. The Georgia General Assembly passed Senate Bill 204 during the 2023 legislative session to provide for the accreditation of public school and local school systems by recognized accrediting agencies. The bill also provides for the State Board of Education to establish criteria, procedures, and other requirements for recognized accrediting agencies, provides for the appeal to the State Board, and for the establishment of an accreditation committee by the State Board of Education. This resolution is to establish an accreditation committee to provide recommendations on accreditation and support the requirements outlined in Senate Bill 204.
Thank Ms. Petty for her work on this effort. So good to see it come to fruition. Are there any other questions or comments from the board?
Ms. Petty, any comments?
No, we're just ready to move forward with this. I've talked to a few people already about being willing to serve on the committee, and we'll probably be reaching out to you guys to see if you have anybody you want specifically on the committee.
Think we can have the committee identified by the August board meeting, or maybe September at the latest? September?
I've already talked to a couple of legislators that I want to add to it, so we'll be working with the DOE on getting those.
Great. All right. Thank you for your leadership on this.
Any other comments for this item? Mr. Chairman, I believe this one will have to be pulled for a separate vote, so it doesn't?
No.
Okay. We will place all 4 items on the consent agenda. That concludes the work of the Rules Committee, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin. Are there any other items for information? For those of you that may be watching us online or are in the room for some to observe and don't have an agenda in front of them, we do not have any agenda items for the District Flexibility and Charter Committee. That's why it's not on the agenda. And we don't have any action items for state schools. So having said that, I will take a motion to adjourn. Oh, Ms. Kennemore, I'm sorry.
I would just like to make a comment regarding our state schools. Last week, state schools, they had a conference, a 2-day conference on language and literacy for the deaf and hard of hearing. And it was well attended by educators across the state of Georgia, not just from our state schools. And Dr. Jessica Bergeron, she did a wonderful job on just going through the science of reading with all of these educators and leaders from schools across the state. And this was an inaugural conference for them, and trying to work on possibly having another conference next year. But the people that attended, they were so excited. There is such I know in education there's always, we don't need to work in silos, but these teachers and leaders in DHH, they feel like that they are all by themselves. And this was the first time that they were able to really reach out to each other and collaborate and work with each other. And even some teachers from DeKalb County came up to me and were talking to me. They say AASD is right across the street from our school, and we just didn't think that we could work together. So it opened up an opportunity for them to reach out to one another and to get the supports that they need for our children. And to hear what they're doing with science of reading in the DHH community is just wonderful. It's just mind-boggling because they are able to do so much helping these students of great need. And I just wanted to put a shout out there for Dr. Bergeron and Dr. Jackson and all of their staff who worked diligently and hard to put this conference together, and not to just benefit our state schools, but to benefit teachers and leaders and parents all across the state of Georgia.
Thank you for your comments, and it's good to hear that. I will entertain a motion to adjourn the committee meetings. I have a motion by Griffin, second by Benton. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. For those who are viewing and joining us, we will reconvene at 1 p.m. for the Committee of the Whole meeting. And just FYI, the lunch that is on the agenda is not a working lunch. That we'll conduct no business, and there will be no presentations or reports. So, but board members we'll be able to eat together here in the building, and I think we'll get some direction from staff on where that location is. And we'll see you back in here at 1 p.m. All right, thank you.